They burned the temple. They slaughtered children, and still the rebels refused to surrender. Previously, Rome encircled Jerusalem. The legions cut off food, water, and hope. But the people, led by zealots, chose resistance over surrender. Jerusalem, 70 CE, a city on fire. A people on their knees, and yet they fought. Why did they stay when they could have fled? Why did they fight when defeat was certain? Why did they believe that God would not let them fall? Inside Jerusalem, prayers turned to whispers. The temple still stood majestic, glowing under the sun like a crown of gold. But the city around it was dying. Streets once filled with song and scripture were now clogged with corpses. Dogs howled. The air stank of smoke, salt, and rot. And still, the rebels held their ground. "If we fall," cried John of Gischala, a ruthless leader hiding within the city, "then let the world fall with us." Titus watched from his camp, silent. His engineers had breached the second wall. But Jerusalem was not a city. It was a maze of stone, spirit, and fanatic fire. The Romans fought house to house. They pushed through traps, arrows, boiling pitch, and every step forward and was paid in blood. The temple was next. Titus hesitated. This was not just a fortress, it was the beating heart of a faith, of a people. Burning it would echo through time. He didn't want that legacy, but fire does not ask permission. On August 30th, 70 CE, it happened. A Roman soldier, nameless, threw a torch, some say by mistake. Others say it was fate. It struck dry wood, curtains, oil jars. The inner sanctuary burst into flame. "Stop, stop!" Titus roared, running toward the inferno. Save the temple, but it was too late. The fire danced like a demon, consuming gold, stone, and history. The Holy of Holies, the chamber where only the high priest could enter, collapsed in smoke. Inside, priests screamed psalms as the ceiling caved. Outside, Roman horns howled triumph. "This," a centurion whispered, watching the flames, "is how gods die." But the city still stood. One last stronghold remained. The upper city, where the last defenders, the zealots and Sicarii, gathered in despair and fury. They were starving, trapped, surrounded, and yet they fought on. Titus, now grim and hardened, ordered a full assault. Siege towers rolled forward once more. Walls crumbled. The Romans stormed in with steel and flame. No mercy, no survivors. The streets turned red. Houses were looted, temples smashed. Scrolls turned to ash. A mother cradled her child in a cellar as the roof collapsed. A priest ran into the fire, clutching a Torah. And then, silence. Jerusalem had fallen. Over 1 million lives gone. The city once called holy was rubble. Titus walked through the ruins, stepping over marble and corpses. He gazed at the blackened skeleton of the temple and whispered, "I did not want this." But history does not listen to guilt, only to fire. Back in Rome, Titus returned in triumph. The crowds roared. A massive arch was built, the Arch of Titus, etched with carvings of Jewish captives, golden menorahs, and Roman banners. A warning to all: defy Rome and vanish. The Jewish people were scattered, the temple never rebuilt. And for 2,000 years they would remember, every year on Tisha B'Av, the day Jerusalem burned. But the story didn't end in ashes, because though the city was crushed and the temple gone, the faith remained. Hidden in hearts, carried in scrolls, passed from mother to child, whispered in songs, etched in memory. Rome won the war, but the people? They endured, because stones can be shattered. But stories live forever. Why do we remember this siege? Because it's not just history, it's a question that echoes in every age. What would you die for? What would you fight for? What survives when cities fall? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and you help keep it alive.